that lady's voice never ceases. It's always gonna scare me, bro. I feel like the government's
so weird.
The government's on us, bro.
I don't know why they just can't put that box up that comes recording in progress or whatever.
Yeah, man. It's I feel like for example, I was talking to this one lady at work or whatever, and she has like like those Apple watches, like the Apple like iPhone or whatever watches. Yeah, bro, I'm talking to her or whatever, and I said something like, honestly, I said something like, I'm serious or something like that, and her phone's just like, I'm serious too, and I'm like, what? We just looked at each other like, yeah, I'm done talking to you. This phone's recording everything I'm saying. Her watch is recording everything I'm saying. Scared the shit out of me.
All of our phones do too. It's crazy. It's just absolutely insane. Like the level of just like, I don't know, just that level of like surveillance sort of thing. And most of the time it's not even for like, well, they say like or so, but it's not even for like, keeping tabs on us. It's mostly just for marketing purposes so they can show us ads based on what we've been talking about. It's fucked. There's a couple of videos I've seen on YouTube of literally people just talking about like getting dog toys or something. It was dog toys, the one I remember. He doesn't have a dog, but he was talking about getting dog toys, specific colors, specific types of toys. And he talked about it for like, I don't know how long. Like there was another, like he talked like there was another person there, but it was just literally me, like him, like just me in this room sort of thing. Yeah. And literally he turned his phone back on, like started searching on the internet. All the ads coming up were for dog toys, specifically red and black colored conchs that he was asking about. It was fucking crazy, man. And I've seen other ones since then. So yeah, it's very weird. It's just set up for us to keep consuming like at a ridiculous rate. And it's just basically like manufacturing like what we see and the ads we see and like the shit that pops up on our feed and whatnot, like the algorithms and whatnot. It's fucked.
Yeah, man, it's scary. And it's even like to go a little bit deeper. The fact that his phone was off, and he was expressing.
I don't know if it was off, it was locked, but like it was locked.
Either way, let's just say it was on but locked. But let's just say his data wasn't connected. How the hell are they listening? I can understand you tapping in through the Wi-Fi, tapping in through the data. How are they hearing my man? I'm just saying hypothetically, but even if the Wi-Fi is connected, bro, it's buzzkill that's the case. Whether you have an iPhone or Android, like, and you say either Siri or you say, hey, Google or whatever, that bitch will pop up and ask you, hey, what did you need or whatever. And it's like, fuck that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Like the Google Homes or things like that. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. I don't need that in my house.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like you're just literally inviting whoever, fucking Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, everybody just into your home, bro. Jeff Bezos. Yeah, bro. I ordered some shit on. Okay. I ordered some shit on Amazon. That bitch came to me, but it wasn't exactly what I ordered. So now I got to send that bitch back. Like, for example, say you buy like a large t-shirt, and when it gets like, when you get it received, like the delivery received to your house, open that bitch up. The tag says extra large and it's big as shit. Or the tag says medium and it's small as shit. And then you're just like, wait a minute. And it's not even like you're trying to be an asshole, but it's like, I wanted a large though. So let me send this bitch back so that I can fucking get the actual large, either get a refund or get the actual large shirt I was trying to get. Shit like that. It's kind of a hassle because you have to be like, all right, time, just spending time doing the nonsense or waiting for the package, or then now I got to go to Canada Post, send that bitch back. But it is what it is, my G. It is what it is. I
hear you. I ordered a couple books off of a website. It wasn't Amazon. And I just got the one recently, and in it came, like, I was like, this feels pretty light. There's supposed to be two here. And sure enough, there's only one in there. I was like, well, what the fuck? And I read the slip that came with it, like the invoice receipt or whatever. And it said the other one's on back order. Cool. Didn't get an email or anything about that, but it was just like, awesome. Didn't know about that. Bought something that was on back order. Now I get to wait and hopefully I get it. Otherwise, like they say, like they hold it for like 60 days and they'll cancel the order. It's just like, well, fuck. awesome.
I
So
feel
let's
you.
hopefully.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. But then it's like, Trent, we have to. Don't get me wrong. We are obviously like,
These are first world problems, 100%.
that's what I was gonna say. We're definitely privileged talking about this nonsense, although it is still nonsense. You know what I mean? Like it is definitely first world problems in that regard. But you know what, man? It's like I realize seriously, like I understand how certain people can get into a funk and get into some like because you can go on for days and days about nonsense that like might irritate you, might frustrate you throughout your day or whatever. But then when you look on the flip side, it's like there's so much other shit to be grateful for and such. So it's like I'm always speaking on this whole like when you order some shit and you don't get what you want because it just happened to me. But it's like all in all, man, it ain't no thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Reality is, it's like the fact that we have the option. Well, on most sites, like if it was like a Walmart or fucking whatever brand, where it's like a big brand, they have like pretty solid return policies and shit. So
Exactly.
it's like, you know what I mean? Regardless, it's like regardless, if I don't get the shirt, I'm gonna get the bread back, and then it's just like, all right, whatever. I just went through the hassle, but I still got my money or whatever. So that's why I'm not tripping on it like that, but still makes you think, bro.
And honestly, it's just like you said, we could sit here and like talk about things that bum us out all day, but like on the flip side, like can we talk about things that like make us happy all day? You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of people.
That'd be the challenge. That'd be the true challenge.
Because there's a lot of people who can sit there and just talk about, well, you know, blah, 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 this all happening and like, you know, this and that's happening. But I would bet a lot that they couldn't sit there and talk about the good things going on in their life, even, you know, as small or remote as they may be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, man. You know what's crazy though, Trent? It's kind of like using social media as a vacuum, bro. Say for example, we put out a podcast, we put out whatever, and we get 10 good comments, one negative one. We're gonna focus so much on the negative one because it's the odd thing. It's the thing that sticks out. That's why, like, to the point you're making about how many people can talk about the good things they fucking enjoy all day or whatever. That's what I'm saying. That's the challenge. That's the real challenge.
There was something I read a while ago. It was like this professor said, I think this is all bullshit, but it was just just how this post was wrote. So it was like this professor told the same joke over and over and over again about 5 or 6 times. And the first time I got big laughs, and the second time it was just like, okay. And then after that, I just didn't get any more laughs. And he said, so we'll laugh at something one time, that's something that gives us joy and everything like that one time, but we'll give these like awful, like traumatic experiences a million different thoughts every time and have the same like fucked up reaction to it every time. Why are we doing that to ourselves? Basically, it was just a lesson in like perspective sort of thing, I guess. I don't know, but it was just, it just struck me as just like, it's weird how we're wired like that. After a while, a joke will get old, but that fucking like negativity, that like bullshit like that, it doesn't get old. It just like festers and it just makes you farther into your funk and like that. It's so fucked up like that. So corrosive, toxic thoughts like that. Like Jesus.
Yeah. It's like reheating a meal that you had already had a small portion of it and it was disgusting to you. Now it's like reheating that meal and eating it again.
But
bam. It's like, why are you going to do that shit? Why are you going to fuel your brain or have your brain nourish or eat on that type of bullshit? But that's the
malnourish in that case.
Exactly. It's I don't know, man. Destruction is a different type of thing, bro. Like destructive thoughts versus like the ones that we use to build, the ones that we use to like hold things together, like within ourselves, like the ones that calm us down, the ones that amp us up, the ones that make us fucking be on 10. I gotta go for it, baby. The ones that put us in that beast mode. That's like, I'm gonna kick today's ass. Like, we have to be able to spark those thoughts and have them long lasting, just like how most people view the negative one. We got to fuck around and like, I don't know. It's different. I don't know. I think it's different, Trent, when those types of seeds are constantly being planted in your head, like based on your perspective, like you were just mentioning, and based on what you fuel yourself with throughout the day, whether it's music, a book you're reading, TV, social media, all that shit's a factor, bro.
It really is. Like, if you don't expand past your like framework, you become very limited. And in that limited framework, like, you don't grow, you don't change as a person. Like, there's some people I know in this town that are like that, man. They never got past shit from like high school. Like, they're still hanging on to shit that's over a decade old now, like going on to almost 2 decades. Like, they're still caught in that shit and they haven't let it go since then. And all they've done since then is rely on their limited framework of what they've had up until that point and haven't seek to make that framework bigger, to go outside that framework in order to make that framework a little bit bigger. All they've done is just stayed in what they know and what they're like comfortable with. And in doing so, they've kind of found themselves like to be extra miserable, and to the point where we don't bring these people around anymore. Like, just because they don't interact well with other people we have. So it's just like, okay, cool. You do your thing. We're doing our thing. But like, honestly, it's all about expanding your framework and like looking outside of what you already have and bettering what, like, not just bettering yourself, but like, just, I don't know, just trying to change, like, just look at different perspectives and whatnot. And like, granted, like, there's certain perspectives that have no value. Like, if you look at certain perspectives that really don't have any value to it and doesn't add any like good to your life, yes, there's those. But for the most part, like, there's a bazillion different like perspectives you can look up or look into or look from, sort of thing. So I don't know. It's just like I said, it's all a matter of expanding that framework and changing your perspective on things and trying to grow from there. And doing so will help you grow from there.
Bro, broadening the picture is like, that is one of the most important things we can touch on. having the ability and having the courage to try new things. You know what I mean? Like, having the ability to allow yourself to like not just shut down when something new is presented to you. Because most people, they shut down on some just like, nah, man, I don't do that. Or nah, man, I'm not into that type of shit. And it's like, bro, you haven't even tried it yet. Or even like a lot of people, they don't even care to do a little research because I don't know, man.
People like to just take opinions of other people. Like, they just like to cherry pick other people's idea and they don't want to put in the legwork themselves. And I'm very guilty of doing that myself.
We all are.
But the difference is I will go out of my way to read up on like shit that I want to talk about and shit I want to have an opinion on or anything like that. It's not just, oh, blah, 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 blah. No, I've looked up this shit 90%. Most of the time I've looked up this shit and I have like these internalized thoughts, which is why like I say these things. So like, that's basically it. And it's just all a matter of forming your own opinion too, like, frankly.
That's how we should be looking at it, bro. Like, doing some research and then like with the research you have, like speaking on it. But even so, it's like, I'm not like also not being ashamed to say, hey, bro, like, I'm not too familiar on the topic, blah, blah, blah. Can you enlighten me or whatever? Everybody sometimes, like, a lot of people will have that mentality where it's like, nah, bro, I got to say something. And it's like, nah, sometimes you can just remain silent and just learn, broaden this perspective, broaden the horizon, broaden your framework, like you broaden the frame, like you were saying.
That quote, it's better to remain silent and be thought of a fool than open your mouth and remove all doubt. Like, honestly, if you don't know, there's no need to interject. Kind of listen. You got 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. It's another cliche there, but like, honestly, you'll learn more by listening than you will by just blabbing, honestly. Like, you sit there and you listen to some other people's perspective or whatever else, or you learn about some, like, listen to whatever people have to say, like, you learn something. And like, people like always ask like, oh, you're so smart, how do you know all this stuff? It's literally just fucking accumulating the stuff as you go, man. That's all it is. It's like, you listen to some people talk, you read a thing or two, and then you read a thing or two down the line that's the same. Like, it's just all it is. It's just accumulation of like what you've picked up so far. That's all it is. It's accumulated knowledge.
But even with that, man, we gotta, like, you know what I realized recently, Trent? Sometimes we have to accumulate knowledge. We have to expand on the accumulation, but also like try our best to dig deep, because if you don't want to try to like dig deep, get to a root of a scenario, get to a root of whatever you're trying to learn, you might still be speaking half truths to a degree, where it's like, okay, I know such and such is fact, but I didn't like double check or whatever these facts, so to speak. And then it's like, or sometimes new information is brought to light, and we fuck around and didn't do the research to see that new information was brought. So we have the opinion or the mindset of old news, like news that's no longer valid, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's really just a matter of like just checking your, like, just being on top of your things and whatnot. Like, and again, not talking outside of like beyond the soul sort of thing. He's like knowing what you're talking about, not like speaking out of your ass basically, and speaking for the sake of speaking. Like, that's basically it.
No, 100%, man. I feel like there's but see, even with that, man, it's like, I realize, as fucked up as it might sound, there is the other side where it's like, somebody might present something to you, Trent. Yo, man, you hear about such and such? Nah, man, what happened? Yo, such and such got hurt and da 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 da. And you're like, oh shit, that's fucked up. You don't necessarily know all the details and even though like it's a matter of you not knowing all the details, you still in that moment might feel empathy or whatever the case is for the person who got hurt in the scenario. You know what I mean? So you might speak on it in the sense of being like, oh shit, that's messed up that they did that to him. But later on, you find out that he hurt somebody first, and that's why they retaliated. It just sucks because it's like, even though, like in certain situations, what I'm trying to say is, I feel like we shouldn't always be penalized for not knowing all the details. Because sometimes you might have a human reaction, like, yo, man, I felt bad for homie or whatever. I felt bad for her, or I felt bad for him. And you have every right to feel that way as well, even though or speak on a situation where you just like, that's why people sometimes start with, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Everyone can change their mind. Like, everything can like you can change your perspective as you go on. That's all about what it is, right? Like, I don't know. There's certain things like, I don't know. There's certain things you can't come back from, but there's other things just like, come on, like whatever. You just made a mistake in the past or whatever, and you can make amends. You can redeem yourself. It's not like this is the end either. You know what I mean? Like, nothing's over till you're underground.
No, facts. And that's the thing. To your point, it's like, as long as you're not doing some unforgivable type shit, like, granted you have an opinion on a situation, yes, you should be able to change your mind based on new information presented to you. And you shouldn't necessarily be penalized for, I mean, don't get me wrong. Granted, you are admitting, hey man, I'm wrong. New information was presented. This is how I'm feeling right now. Granted, you take that approach versus you don't acknowledge the wrong that you had. Like, hey man, I messed up last year. You're just automatically acting like you just knew the new shit. Yeah, everybody knows that Graham's not doing this. Everybody knows that. And it's like, bro, you didn't even know that shit. You got some new shit, new information. Unless you're trying to be on some just arrogant type shit, like where you do most, in my opinion, you do deserve, like most would deserve a second chance or come back from some type of bold ass statement they might have said or hot take or whatever they might have said, you know?
I agree. I totally agree. An opinion shouldn't be, well, depends on the opinion, but like an opinion like of, I don't know, some opinions you can come back from, but like once again, you can always change your perspective.
But that's why I say, like, more like the shit, the unforgivable shit. Like if you like said some stuff to support the person who starts with H, who did bad things to people of Jewish descent. If you're like, I don't want to say the name for our shit gets flagged, but I'm saying like, say you're trying to quote something like him that he said or something in a good way. It's like, yeah, bro, you might as well just not even mention that. You know what I mean? Like, just stay far away from that type of shit.
Like I said, exploring perspectives that some are not worthwhile exploring, and that's a perspective that is not worth exploring because it does nothing.
You're right.
It does nothing but legitimize that point of view, and that's half the reason I have issue with somebody down south who shall not be named. It's just it was legitimizing that point of view, and that's not the point of view we need to like. It's one thing to have like a marketplace of ideas or like open dialogue with people of different ideas and whatever else. It's quite another to legitimize and mainstream that bullshit.
Yeah, man. It's like kind of going into it's like, if you're out here to destroy, man, it's like, and yes, you might get a big following and certain amount of supporters. But if your main thing is to destroy, it's like at the end of the day, you need to be put down. Like, not even it's sad. It's kind of harsh to say, but it's like motherfuckers need to be. Certain things need to happen so that certain individuals don't more or less like exist, so to speak. Like, and it's not about sorry if it sounds harsh, but it's like if you're harming elderly people or if you're harming kids or anything like that, like you need to be put down. Like, I don't care what your perspective is, what your reasoning is, like, you know what I mean? Like that's where like the line's kind of drawn for me. Like that's what or like that's to the people listening, that's what I mean if ever I say something like some unforgivable type shit or an unforgivable perspective, or you know what I mean? It's like don't like if you're gonna express something that's from the heart and you genuinely like don't know, and by genuinely I mean like you somehow can prove that this is your first time learning about this or whatever. Hey man, I get it. We have to be able to have the right to have some new information presented. Granted, we're willing to learn. But if you want some arrogant shit, like, or if you want some shit where it's like, yo, I have the, you know how everyone, I have the freedom of speech. I can say what I want. You're right. You can say anything you want. But
I also have the freedom to rock your jaw for some of the things you said.
That's the thing. I was going to say, you also have the right to deal with those repercussions of what you say. You can say whatever you want, but you have to deal with the repercussions of what you said. So, okay, be free. But if you can't read the room, someone's going to read that jaw. And then you, that's it. Someone's going to read that motherfucking jaw. Chapter 12. just chapter 12 on your ass. But yeah, man, I feel like it's just different now. My homie, it's just different now, you know?
I agree, man. Like these days are just getting frantic as it is. And it's just like, we got to not, like you said, we got to try and like look for the betterment and look for like the positives. Like we've been saying, like it's a lot easier how a lot of people have been raised and how a lot of people view things to do like destructive things and like things that don't better everybody as a whole sort of thing. Myself included. I can't say I'm not. But at the end of the day, like it's much, much more rewarding to create than it is to just destroy things. Mm-hmm. So like try not, and much better to be fucking, you know, as less toxic as possible. Like that's the only way I can put it. Like you got to work on yourself. You got to work on like
how you make a better world, bro. It's how we make a better world.
Exactly. And it's all about
being the best me.
Pretty much, but it's also about positive perspectives and broadening their perspective, but maintaining a positive perspective. That is the key. Like a realistic perspective is one thing, but it's got to be grounded in some form of optimism because that's the only way you survive at this stage in the game. My Lord, is it storming out here?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like a lighter drizzle as I'm on my balcony. People who's watching might be wondering, like, yo, why does he have that stuff behind him? It's more or less like a tarp and some other shit to basically stop me from getting rained on when I'm out here doing my thing, when I'm out here getting my mind right.
So it is literally like torrential.
You're in a monsoon.
Here, and it's thundering and lightning now.
Yeah, you're in a monsoon, bro. That's the thing. You guys are going to be tripping. Like, hey, yo, whatever you're doing a bit later tonight, just make sure you're safe out there, bro. Like, you got to
I'm not doing it. My ass is staying right here. I'm not going. I haven't left the house all day just because it's been like this. So it's just been like, okay, cool. So yeah, my ass is staying indoors tonight, dude.
That's the shitty part about Canada, bro. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, good and bad, but it's like we experience all 4 seasons. Great. But it's like if it's a blizzard outside, you ain't going nowhere. If it's a rainstorm outside, you ain't going nowhere. If it's hot as a giraffe ass outside, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you just like to the point, especially if you're fortunate to have like some type of central air conditioning, whatever, you ain't going nowhere. Like it's, but you know, again, first world problems. We're still super privileged. It is what it
pretty
is.
Pretty much. But once again, like, yeah, I don't know what else to say except you have to stay dry because it's fucking nasty out there right now. Holy crap,
bro! You know how it is. This is mainly a tap in episode. To the people listening, this is a tap in moment where we just like we want to talk, shoot the shit. We want to talk with like see how each other's doing, like, but also drop some gems if we can for y'all. You know what I mean? Like, that's the beauty of this type of stuff. Like these platforms, and even if to the people listening, even if you don't have a platform or any type of podcast or something like that, again, kind of reiterating a point that we previously made, speak with people, enjoy your time, bro. Just if you can be pleasant on that motherfucker. Like be decent on
Costs
that.
nothing to be good.
Yeah, like be decent to the homies, like be decent to the ladies. Like I promise you, we're all gonna get further. It is not a competition, and if you with your homies, bruh, y'all can eat together. Man, everyone needs to sit at the table and eat together. You know what I mean?
Fucking hard facts there, sir. Holy.
Hey, bro, I'm trying to be on my sensei shit, like how you were last episode. Nah, bro, at work, one of the homies was like, because I was talking to him, and he said literally, he's like, bro, like you on that Zen shit, you on that fucking you on that Master Splinter shit or whatever, like just in the sense of just making a joke, but he was like being serious because he was like, every time me and you talk, like we have our little interactions or whatever, like he's like, you always being like, yo, man, keep your head up, blah 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 blah. It's like, bro, we work at a hospital, bro, where unfortunately people are perishing. You know what I mean? Like shit's real. If I could crack a smile with some ladies or crack a smile with the homies or whatever, like it is what it is. Like it doesn't make sense for me to be on some bullshit and when everybody's battling some shit. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I was talking to my mom and my aunt, who's a little bit older, elderly, earlier today, bro. Like, bro, shit can get real. Shit can get real out that bitch, you know?
Oh, I hear you.
Shit
I
can get
hear you,
real
man.
out that bitch, you know? But yeah, man, you know what I mean? I know it's crazy.
I rattled my whole fucking place, that clap of thunder. That was crazy.
Yeah, it's real. I just don't want the roof to come down on a motherfucker. That's how strong this. You know what I mean? That's how strong this shit can be. But yo, man, I'm just saying, just especially if you have family members who are a little bit up there in age, stay connected, bro.
Facts.
Because we out here.
I had dinner with I had lunch the other day with a lot of my family, and that was really nice to see some of them. Like really nice to see them. We haven't done that a lot because of obvious reasons, but like yeah, still see them when you can, talk to them when you can, give them a phone call if you can, like whatever's clever, but just stay connected.
It makes for a better, in my opinion, it makes for a better existence, bro. You want to be out here, or it makes for a better life, I should say. You don't want to be out here just existing. You know what I mean?
I agree.
It's just you wake up and you just breathing and whatnot, but you ain't out here living it all. You ain't out here trying to experience nothing, bro. Unless like you have allergies and different things like that, get out there and smell some roses. Get out there and fucking,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Go out there and enjoy yourself. You know what I mean?
I agree. Oh man, yeah. The hash.
I know you out here. My boy is I don't know if you want to tell any of the people, but my boy's intergalactic right now. He tripping.
Oh man, like this is entirely a hash fueled episode by me at this point on my half anyways. Like holy crap, like whoo doggy. Yeah. I don't know what else to say except goodness gracious, like just
he said, "Excuse me while I kiss the sky." Excuse me.
Got way more too. That's the worst part, I guess. But like this stuff, plus also really good bud too. So like,
yeah, those are the best ones when you don't even have to smoke a lot. You can just smoke a little bit and you get litty lit. Those are the best ones, bro. It makes the time like worthwhile. But yo, to the people listening, Trent, we gonna trip. We gonna end it here and cool out, bro. Enjoy your evening, and we gonna rock out. You know what I mean? My name's Graham.
I'm Trent.
And we in this bitch. Trent on it. Yeah.